Julius is going to daycare.
Sit. He gets so anxious to put this on, but he loves it. One of my favorite things to do for him is pack his lunch in the morning.
We always joke that he looks like 50 Cent from In the Club with his bulletproof vest leash on. What do you guys think? Here's a side-by-side comparison.
Look at Daddy.
Julius!
He's ready to go.
Have a good day.
I just woke up. I need it all today. The money.
Okay, Mega's dropping Julius off at daycare. I have this bulletproof decaf. So it has raw cream in it, which we got delivered from a local farm. I'm gonna make a video on how that happened. And check out what's going on over here. So this is what my office looks like currently. I'm building this computer, upgrading my old one. The cooler doesn't fit on the processor. I don't really know what to do about that. I think I need a new cooler. Because this processor is like, I don't know, it's new, it's a new model. It's like twice as big as a normal processor. This is the third computer I've built in my life, and every time I just regret it after, because so much stuff goes wrong. It's like, hopefully by tonight you'll see this computer starting up and actually running.
I made a decaf with some raw heavy cream, exogenous ketones.
Loser.
We're not doing caffeine, and it tastes bad.
It does?
Yeah, decaf always tastes really bad, and then on top of it, like exogenous ketones, it's not gonna taste good.
What episode number?
74.
Seamland?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Keto for Normies podcast, episode 74.
I'm Mega.
I'm Matt.
I just woke up, hey, I didn't even wipe my face. I didn't even clean the place. I keep that 4-5 on my waist. I just woke up.
And I got some money to stack. You mad cause you can't count a rack? Nose bleeding, heart attacks. To you, but I put in the past. There's only one way and it's up. I made it this far, no love. Even when push come to shove.
Do you have any workout tips?
I feel like it's always the same. It's just like really being present and focusing on the muscle you're trying to work out. So the mind-muscle connection. Today was an example of when I wanted to just stop at like 8 reps because 8 was like really painful when I was doing weighted lunges. But then I was like, no, you gotta go to 10. So just make sure you're always hitting 10 or whatever goal you have in mind. It's so easy to just like stop when it's painful, right? We also just got a keto crate and I'm really impressed by this box, except these are really bad.
What are those?
Those protein crisps. I love flavored almonds. This is one of my favorite bars ever. We buy these. My favorite candy, chocolate, Coca Polo. Ooh, Bunker Hill cheese. And then this goodies mix. So Dina's a good friend of ours. And this is our picture. Fat snacks. Pretty good. One of our favorites, keto bars. This is my favorite flavor, the chocolate peanut butter. This we've never tried, but I'm not a fan of Chalk Zero. Not a lot of flavor, just a lot of carbs. But yeah, not a bad box. This is their bark with peanuts.
Speaking of bark, I miss Julius. Okay, we're making lunch. So this is 4 slices of bacon. Then we're gonna toss in some broccoli. And then the last thing is just like crack some eggs in. And you can do this with a bunch of different vegetables. You can do Brussels sprouts, you can do kale, spinach, collard greens. It's easy to make and it's filling. I also made this yogurt. So I've been having this, I had it yesterday. It's really good.
We used the raw whole milk we got from the farm.
It's like, it doesn't look that pretty. It looks actually gross. It's like kind of cottage cheese consistency, but it tastes good. So I'm gonna have some of that.
Show us a dance move.
I can't dance that good. We got lunch. This is mine. It doesn't look that great, but it tastes good. I'm going to put some butter on mine, probably like a tablespoon. And we got this really awesome butter from a farm. Look how yellow that is. It's cultured butter. It was $12 for this. It was a pound for $12. Pretty expensive, but I think I'd buy it again. Rice cracker mindset. Is that what it's called? Rice cake. Rice cake mindset.
I knew where you were going, yeah.
The rice cake mindset of America. It's probably like in most of the world now. What's the idea behind rice cakes? Why were they invented?
So you can eat as much as possible without consuming a lot.
Yeah, so you can spend all day with your mouth chomping on things without gaining weight. Like this thing, it tastes basically like cardboard, but I just want to chew on things all day. Like that's the mentality behind it, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. And I think a lot of dieting and trying to lose weight is in that mindset of like, I need to get as much food as possible without a lot of calories.
Right.
That's the modern diet culture. That's why there's 100-calorie packs of Oreos, there's Weight Watcher bars, all those type of things. That is more of like a restricting mindset. It's not good.
Because you're scared to put on weight, but in actuality, you're scared to like gain health. That's what it feels like, right?
So when you start doing keto, a lot of the times you'll notice that your food is more calorie dense. It's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. Like think back in the day, human beings naturally seek out calorie dense sources of food, right? They want the most calorie dense food there is. The most calorie dense typically tends to be the most nutrient dense, unless we're talking like Cheesecake Factory, right? Those are artificially calorie dense, where they're just like combining fat, sugar, but there's no real nutrients. But something like this, you know, it has a lot of nutrients in it. It is pretty calorie dense, but it is also filling.
Right.
And I think a lot of the coming from a high carb, just standard American diet, trying to lose weight, is the habits you have. Eating 3 times a day plus snacks. That's a habit. That's not the way you're naturally supposed to eat. But when you start doing keto, those habits are still in place. It's kind of like smoking cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
When you're like driving in the car, I would imagine if you always smoke a cigarette, it's hard not to smoke a cigarette when you're in the car. I used to always go to work and I'd be at my desk snacking on stuff, you know, just all day, just like snacking. And when I started doing keto, I would have nuts instead and just snack.
And it's easy to justify the habits, like with the 3 meals a day and the and the snacks in between. When I hear people like eating like that and they talk about why, it's like, you know, I'm always hungry, like, and I don't like to be hungry all day.
You probably are at first though.
So I just rather continue to eat throughout the day because I don't want to be hungry. But that's also because you're eating like smaller, not dense meals when you're doing high carb, right? And so you need to like snack throughout the day. And that's the difference between keto and a high carb diet.
So maybe a good starting point is to replace the habits with healthier habits. That's what a lot of people do. That's like Halo Top ice cream. That's almonds instead of chips. But I think at some point, you just want to focus on like calorie dense, nutrient dense meals. Ideally, not even thinking too much about calories, just like kind of being a human being. Like I eat these foods, they fill me up, they make me feel good. Not thinking too much about anything else. But that's obviously really hard to get to.
Yeah, and it almost sounds impossible, right? Coming from the standard American diet, even like in my position, like there are certain times where I don't want dense foods because I want to eat a lot, like during a movie, like movie snacks. So time to time, it's definitely fine to like have a bunch of snacks or like eat delicious things because you want to indulge in food and not focus purely on nutrition. Trying to change your mindset, at least for most of the week, most of your meals, at least like lunch and dinner, nutritional meals, I think you'll feel better.
And I think you'll find that you're actually fuller. But it's not gonna be a feeling like when you're done with the meal, you're stuffed full of stuff like it would be on a standard American diet. Yeah, but it's more of like when 5 hours go by, you're like, yeah, I could eat, but I don't need to eat also because, you know, you got the nutrients from the previous meal. That's just kind of my thoughts. Perspective shift maybe could help some people.
Yeah, it's definitely helped me getting older, realizing that like internal health is what creates longevity. I want to enjoy my life. I want to see my kids, my grandkids, and I can't be focusing on just like constantly losing weight and being as thin as possible if I want to do that. Those are counter to one another. So you got to focus on internal health. And I think nutritional foods is a good stepping stone for that.
What do you guys think about that?
That's dumb. Rice cakes for life.
Well, there are people that are pretty strong advocates for like, if it fits your macros style eating.
I mean, we're not against that.
I think there's a very large percentage of people that if it fits your macros, it doesn't work for. You can't do it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Which is basically like eat anything you want as long as you're hitting macros.
It's easy to overeat a lot of the foods that can fit into your macros, like bars and brownies and cookies.
I think a lot of the times the people advocating for if it fits your macros don't have the perspective of someone who's tried it and failed. They're not drawn to food in the same way as other people.
Oh my God, we're obsessed. Cheers.
Got some news over here. This is actually booting, finally. It only took me, this build, probably like 5 hours worth of work. Not a lot compared to my previous experiences. So I had to get a new heatsink. I actually went like the extra mile. I did some ceiling fans. I have what I think is pretty good airflow.
All right, guys, this video is sponsored by ButcherBox. So honestly, we eat ButcherBox like 4 times a week at least. So we're doing 2 ribeyes for dinner tonight, and you can just like look at how beautiful it is. It's super fatty, it's super marbled, and we get a box every month. You can use the link below, butcherbox.com/KetoConnect. That'll get you $15 off, plus some free bacon. But honestly, get the ribeye, get the ground breakfast sausage. That's another of my favorite. The chicken wings we always get because we do weekend wings, and it's just a great service. It's good quality meat, so if you're interested.
And look who's home.
Look at how dirty his sweater is. Can you even tell?
Yeah, she said he was playing really hard today. What's up?
What are you eating?
Grillo's pickles. Fresh.
They're really good. They're not hot though.
They're not that hot. I like this brand. I've never gotten them before.
They're super crunchy.
Where'd we get these from?
I think you picked them up from Kroger, remember? We were shopping. I got my steak.
And I spoke way too soon on the computer thing. I thought it was booting, so I thought we were almost there. It turns out I have like the wrong type of hard drive for the motherboard. I'm not gonna get into it because most of you guys don't care, but yeah, we're back to like, not square one, but we're back to like troubleshooting some stuff here. It always happens.
I need another pickle. These are good. I could eat this whole jar in a day.
We got dinner. I have Brussels sprouts. Oh, you put pumpkin seeds on top?
Yeah.
I put butter on mine, a little extra butter. And we cooked them with butter.
And shallots and garlic.
Yeah.
And then we have our steaks, and I have some low-carb barbecue sauce. I always get the G. Hughes brand, and I work through like a bottle a week.
You've really been using that a lot lately.
I'm obsessed. And then pumpkin seeds on my breasties. Do you hear Miley?
Yeah. Where is she?
She's playing with the ornies. Come here, Mimi. She's not tempted by food like dogs are.
Woke up, I need it all today. The money a call away. I needed to fall in place. I just woke up. I'm starting to ball today. Da Vinci on call today.
Man,
We hitting them
I don't know. Yeah, probably. I'm having an after dinner snack. This bar. It's Boo Fit brand. How much are these? Are they expensive?
I don't know. I kind of just click and buy.
These are 220 calories, 17 fat, 10 total carb, 9 fiber. So there's different carbs for different flavors. This one's one net carb.
It's probably slightly cheaper than like a box of Quest bars, a box of Boo bars.
And I'm having one of these. It's an Adapt bar.
And then I'm gonna do carrots and almond butter.
And then I'll maybe update you on the progress of my computer soon.
I timed myself. That took me 14 minutes to eat.
Good job.
No, that's not long at all.
No.
It's crazy how quickly we can just consume foods. And I tried to like really be conscious and chew my food. 14 minutes. It took Matt 18.
You timed me too?
Well, we started at the same time, and then when I was done, you still had your brussies. So I gotta work on that. How long should it take for someone to eat?
I was focusing on my chewing more.
Me too, but still.
It's hard.
I must naturally then eat like in like 7 minutes. So I thought I was recording, and I did an entire segment on what my last snack is, and I went, Julius, what's up? 4 tablespoons of almond butter, and then I'm doing some carrots with it as my last snack. I've transitioned from obsessing over peanut butter. I don't even think about peanut butter anymore to really loving almond butter. I like to enjoy it in small amounts. And yeah, this is gonna cap me off for the night. If you're like me, you can enjoy nut butters. If you're like Matt, he is just cold turkey cut it out of his life. Except if he were like taste testing for a recipe or a mealtime segment, he just doesn't have it. Like, good for him. But I really just like enjoy it. So I like to make it a part of my diet. How I choose to live is not to cut things out, because to me, that's depriving myself. And then I think about it more, right? If you can't have it, you just want it even more. If you can do things in moderation, and some people can't, then I encourage that, you know? Enjoy the foods you eat. If they're healthy whole foods, and I consider almond butter a whole food, is it a whole food? But like, yeah, I'm having some carbs, I'm having some nut butter. And, you know, to me, this is better than like a Quest bar personally, or a prepackaged snack, because it's still like a whole food.
These two are over here watching YouTube workouts.
No, she has a bunch of videos. I've transitioned from watching people do cheat days to just hardcore workouts, so I can like pick up some moves and some tips.
Do you want to come down and see the computer?
Not really.
Yeah, they never get to see Miley anymore.
Oh, her eyes lit up. Did you get it?
Come down and see my computer to close out the
Oh, look
video.
at us, we're a family. Okay.
There it is.
Sweet.
You like the case? A lot of room, right?
Yeah.
I like that there was so much room in the case.
You're gonna drop things in there?
Like what?
I don't know, like a fish tank.
No, but this is made for a water cooler right there. Maybe I'll upgrade to that at some point.
Yeah, and you got the new monitors.
Yeah, so I got the monitor set up. I went a little overboard on the mouse pad, I think.
Oh my god, yeah you did.
I got the 2 monitors, and these are supposed to be really good for color grading, like video and stuff. It actually, you need a lot of computing power to render videos pretty quickly, and like...
And you got a new keyboard, I see?
Yeah. Whoa.
What?
You started the video.
Oh.
It's Fanatic versus Misfits Gaming. Come on.
Your life is so sad.
That's it for today, guys. If you guys play video games, let me know what's a good game to get that isn't like too involved where I have to just commit my life to it. Like World of Warcraft, no, don't got time for that. Give me like some indie game recommendations. Thanks for watching, guys.